Hi, it's Mrs.Shelby. I am a mentor and coach, and I love to talk about big feelings. I was just thinking about how life is not always easy. I was thinking about how sometimes the hardest times also can have some of the biggest glimmers, those things that just remind you of why you're here. And I think that those glimmers are so important, and when we're in really hard times it can feel really dark and really gross. And I know that it's so hard sometimes when we're in the thick of it, when we're parents or just living or going to school, work. We forget to see the glimmers because it can be real dark out there, real dark, and that's valid. And I often think about wildflowers. And so if you think about wildflowers or weeds, sometimes dandelions, a kid will pick a dandelion, give it to you, and they'll be so proud. And you think about it, it's just a dandelion, but to them it's this beauty. And I think about those wildflowers or those dandelions, those deep roots they have, and as they can spread everywhere, like wildflowers, dandelions, but they're really rooted. They have this most intricate rooted system. And so I often think about how even if we are feeling like we just can't do it anymore, we have deep roots. And often when trauma and things, we are rooted in things, deep roots of trauma and chaos. And although we have that, our roots we have obviously figured out how to grow from that adversity, and we are growing into this beautiful wildflower that grows and thrives and is gritty. You cannot get rid of a weed. Yes, you can put stuff on it, but weeds keep coming up, and it drives you. You can think of people that just drives them crazy, that weeds are everywhere, and they're rooted and they thrive in adversity. So we are like a wildflower. We're thriving in adversity, and I think when we have trauma and we have layers, we continue to thrive in adversity.